My dad buttoned down the hatches yet again yesterday, mowed the lawn, took off 86 blades of grass, and we're ready for the rain, which comes in today at 2 o'clock. 90% chance of rain from 2 till 5, maybe 100 in there at some point. And they're saying localized heavy downpours up to a half an inch today, an inch on Saturday. Tomorrow, Friday, maybe kind of dry. We're going back into it again, but I got the garage. But today, hence the get up, we've got the zoning hearing with the City of Escondido Planning Department today at 3 o'clock. So business casual. So I got to go up there and do that. We've made 2 sales. Kennan's our first customer, our first client, and that's great. And then actually the guy who owned the car, like the last owner of the car, is our second sale. He wanted his European armrest, little opening center armrest thing. So we sold that to him. And I've got to go ship that shortly. Actually, like now, before it rains. So I'm going to get that out of here today. Need to print an invoice for him and package up the box and get that on its way. That's us. We're official now. We need to get some stickers for the package. In other news, the correct fender liner has arrived from FCP. They pretty much folded it in on itself, which, as you can see, has temporarily bent this piece of plastic. Once we install it, it'll bend back in no time. And they just used 2 of these boxes and shoved it in there and shoved one over the other one and taped it up. Day 2 working on this. I did a little bit of research last night. The safety terminal seems fine. I tightened down the nuts back here. I put a charger on it. I had it at 13.4 volts. I went in the car and there's nothing at all. It doesn't even tick or click or attempt to start. So, I mean, to me, this is a starter motor issue that seemingly somehow after sitting for a couple of months, the starter motor seems to have seized. Although before, on the old battery that I recycled yesterday, even with 6 volts in that old battery, I was getting a little bit of a tick from the starter motor. So I'm not too sure what's going on. I'm going to go do some more research in the office. This battery light is flashing already. We're at 42 seconds on this battery that I put in 2 hours ago, fully charged.
It's the year 2002.
Okay, so I spent the afternoon organizing paperwork, invoices, receipts, all sorts of stuff up at the shop. I put some folders together, got everything organized chronologically, locked it in a desk. Took forever, but that stuff's done. Then I caught an Uber over to the City Hall for our meeting hearing with the Planning and Zoning Committee with the Escondido City Hall regarding our dismantler's license. That meeting lasted all of 60 seconds. I was the only person there, in addition to our zoning and planning coordinator, the zoning and planning manager, and then a witness. And they recorded it, audio, video, and asked me if I had any objections to my own plan. I said no. No public showed up. That's the problem. When the public shows up, you have to post a sign on location saying that there's a hearing for this reasoning. And then it goes in the paper and it goes in these publications for 15 days before the hearing. And it gives the general public 15 days to see the proposal and think, oh, hell no, you're not doing that, and rally and show up at your meeting and stymie you. Nobody cares, right? Like, nobody gives a shit that we're going to be doing this. So nobody showed up. There were no objections. They passed it. Then we had to go and stand in front of the building permit counter in the City Hall for about 45 minutes while they determined, do you need a building permit? Well, it's hilarious because we're not building anything. We've made no changes to the space. I did tell them that, oh, we have a car parked here and there's a toolkit here and we might paint that wall. I don't think we need a building permit to paint interior walls, not even in California. So finally they determined that no, you're zoned S1 and you're going to be S1, so your use doesn't change, so you don't need a building permit. So they signed our zoning document. We purchased a new business license, which now has to be mailed to us, so we'll be able to submit the paperwork for the dismantler's license next Wednesday. Then, it's 120 days from then for the State of California DMV to review and either process and then either accept or deny the dismantler's license. So we are making progress. This was a huge hurdle that took about 20 weeks and $2,800 to bypass, or to jump, but now we have. So that was today. Megan did some grocery shopping, came in clutch. We were out of milk, out of butter, so she's taking care of that. We had pasta for dinner. LeBron James returned after 17 missed games for the Lakers tonight. Tied the Clippers at the end of regulation. Got a win in overtime by 3 points. So that's good. They're closer to being in the playoffs again. And it rained very heavily today. First thunder and lightning I think I've ever seen in California. That's an Ohio thing, but yes, it happens here too. The fender liners showed up. That's up at the shop. We're going to be working in there all weekend. It's supposed to be raining hardcore all weekend, so we'll lock ourselves in there and get some work done. And that's about all I know. So I'm going to go and edit this together, and we'll talk tomorrow on Friday on Friday. Good night.